Hello everybody and welcome back to part 16 of What If Peter Parker, also known as Spider-Man, was in the My Hero Academia universe. If you haven't seen the previous parts, there will be a link in the description below and the annotation above. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing, and if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. Peter again says, "I know your secret, Midoriya," and All Might and Midoriya look shocked at this statement. Peter then points at All Might and says, "He gave you his power." Midoriya, having learned from the conversation with Bakugo, says, "What? No. Transferring quirks is impossible. Why would you even think that?" Peter responds, "Impossible, you say? What about Ragdoll? She lost her search quirk when she was kidnapped to that villain that All Might took down. What was his name again?" And All Might whispers, "All for One." Peter says, "Yeah, that guy. After I found out that you and him," pointing at All Might, "share a quirk, I started thinking, what Tsuyu said, she was right on the money. His power leaving him, the similarities between you two in power scaling. So many people lacked the information, but their guesses were so close. Then I started doing some research. On the internet, very little was found about transferring quirks. But then I went to the dark web and I found more examples from... Some are from very long ago, but still, there are examples." Midoriya says, "Wait, since you found out, what do you mean?" Peter thinks to himself, "Crap, I've been found out." Peter then puts his hand behind his head and says, "Well, I didn't exactly put all the pieces together myself. I was missing a couple pieces of the puzzle to do that. Maybe if I've been there during Camino when you met that villain or whatnot. But I wasn't, so I found out when you and Bakugo were talking about it." Midoriya thinks for a minute and says, "But you weren't there. We made sure we weren't being followed unless you're no stealth suit. You were spying on us." Peter answers, "Yes and no. I saw you leaving past curfew and had just fixed my suit, so I decided to take it for a test run. You guys went so far that I thought I might get in trouble, so I just slapped an upgraded spider tracer on you. They can transmit sounds, so I heard everything until the fight started there." Midoriya says, "Okay, but why are you telling us this?" Peter answers, "Well, we are friends. And let me put your mind at ease, I won't tell anyone. A power like this would change our society for the worse, I think. I do want you guys to tell me everything, but before that, I kind of need you to show me. Show me the power of the #1 hero, All Might. That's why we're here." Midoriya says, "Alright." Aoyama intervenes. "Kids, you can't be serious about this. If anything happens, I can't intervene." Peter then says, It won't be like the fight with Bakugo, All Might. Things won't get out of hand." All Might quiets down and steps away. Peter puts his mask back on and tells Midoriya, who is at the other side of the gym, "Whenever you're ready." And Midoriya says, "Ready." All Might counts down. 3, 2, 1, go. The fight starts and Peter jumps on some of the cement mountains that are in the area and swings from one to the other. Midoriya sees him and runs towards him, jumping in the air and hitting him with a kick. Peter blocks the attack with his arms, grabs the leg, and while in midair throws Midoriya back to the ground, propelling himself further up. Midoriya steps out of the crater that was just created with a smile. Peter, falling back down, shoots a web that throws him towards a spike. He spins on the spike and stops. He says, "Not a bad kick, Midoriya." Peter then jumps back in the air. Midoriya on the ground looks up at Peter. Peter says, "Rapid fire mode," and starts throwing small web balls toward Midoriya at high speeds. Midoriya goes back into full cowl again and starts dodging every single one of the attacks. Peter stops the attack as he lands. Midoriya goes back on the offensive. He leaps at Peter again with another kick. Peter jumps back and drops some small object, jumps back evading and drops some small objects on the floor while he does this. He then double taps the spider symbol on his suit. His suit starts changing to black. Midoriya tackles Peter's legs and tries to sweep them. Peter just jumps in the air, evading the sweep As the green starts appearing in his suit, Midoriya jumps up and kicks down, throwing Midoriya back to the ground. Peter gets up and Midoriya says, "You aren't going to go invisible," as he tries to kick Peter. Peter jumps over Midoriya, double tapping the symbol again. He lands and the green color in his suit has now turned to orange. Peter says that isn't the plan. Peter then pushes a small button in his belt, and the small objects start emitting a high-pitched sound. Midoriya puts his hands to his ears and falls to the ground screaming in pain. Even All Might, who is watching from a distance, finds himself annoyed by the sound. Peter then starts attacking Midoriya and webs him up against the floor. A minute passes and the balls stop emitting the sound. Midoriya says, "That was a dirty trick, Peter." Peter says, "What? I can't hear you! This mode cancels out all the sound!" Peter double taps the spider symbol and says, "Default mode." The suit starts turning back to normal. Peter says, "Ah, that is so much better. It's so weird not to listen to anything." Can you repeat that?" Midoriya says again. "That was a dirty trick, Peter." Peter says, "Yeah, all is fair in love and war. Plus, the #1 hero has to be able to overcome all the odds, even if they're stacked against him." Give up yet?" Midoriya says, "As you just said." He uses a bigger amount of One for All just for 1 second, about 15, freeing himself from the webs. He starts getting up. He continues, "The future #1 hero has to be able to overcome all the odds." Midoriya starts attacking Peter on 8% instead of the 5% he was attacking with before. Peter tries to dodge and block what he can, thinking his strength and speed just increased. Why didn't he do this from the beginning? Midoriya eventually lands an attack that Peter can't block, throwing him to the wall. Peter gets up and is going to double tap the spider symbol to go invisible, but finds himself being attacked by Midoriya again, who isn't giving him a chance to get his act together. After a couple of hits, Peter says, I give up, like in severe pain, and they end the fight. Peter lays on the ground. He takes off his mask. Midoriya is standing over him. "You did good, Midoriya," Peter says. "Why didn't you use that enhanced speed you attacked me with from the beginning of the start, or that huge burst of power for more time?" Midoriya says, "I'm used to fighting at only 5% for now, and only started using the 8% attacks a few days ago against Bakuro, so I'm not very used to them. And the burst was something different. Using all that power for me for more than a moment can break me, as you have already seen." Peter thinks to the past when he saw Midoriya landing smashes and breaking his bones and says, that was only 5% of his power. Peter, still laying on the ground, gets up a bit to a sitting position and says, "Tell me everything." I hope you all enjoyed. Please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, make sure to leave suggestions in the comments of what you want to see in the channel. And until next time, I hope you all had a nice day. Bye!